Welcome to this video on UFC 314 review. Obviously, just happened last night. Going through each fight in the main card, having a look, seeing what I think and where people will go in the future. So getting on to the first fight in the main card, Reyes versus Krylov. Obviously a big light heavyweight fight, really. Two fighters who need a bit of luck and a bit of get back in there, get back on top, get back to a win, and look, they're both very decent fighters, but they need that confidence. It only took very, very little time. Round one finished by Reyes. Krylov exploding forward early, and that's what he was doing throughout the fight, and doing well at the point where Reyes was not really doing much until Reyes basically allowed him to explode forward again, and he caught him with a left hook. Basically, Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor, part two, and caught him. It was like a straight, but it was slightly angled. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Straight KO. Couple hammer fists afterwards just to make sure that the deal was finished, but it was. And look, great from Reyes. Great movement. Great ability, really, to counter someone like that so early when Krylov is fresh as well. So yeah, look incredible for Reyes to get back in the win column, and hopefully we see him progress forward, because he is a great fighter. He's fought John Jones. Many people think he beat John Jones in that fight. So look, at the top level of his game, he is up there with the best. So good to see him get a win. Hopefully see him progress and see him challenge some top level fighters going forward. On to the next fight, Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. Round one I gave to Gene Silva. Good shots, good leg kicks by Bryce early and carried on. Silva pushing forward. Bryce gets a takedown. Silva tries to with the guillotine, looks tight, but he gets out. And really the first point is it's the leg kicks are doing well, but Gene Silva's pressure and shots are much more valuable in the scoring system. So I gave Gene Silva the first round. Second round, Gene Silva pushing forward again. Bryce Mitchell, he left him, drops Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell goes for a takedown, can't get them. Silva, good elbow. Silva looking very good with takedown defense, and Bryce couldn't get him down. Leg kicks were good from Bryce, but yeah, couldn't really do much. Silva goes for a ninja choke as Bryce tries to go in for a takedown or a clinch again, and Silva gets the submission. It got to the point in this fight where, look, I didn't believe Bryce Mitchell was going to win. And he was getting beaten up, and he was either going to get KO'd or he was going to get choked out like this. It was either way. He started looking sluggish, he got dropped, he was getting hurt severely. Silva is in his element, moving fast, moving well. It's only a matter of time, and look, Bryce Mitchell loses, but did take some massive punishment before then, so yeah, fair play to him for getting in there. He's had a lot of controversy online, and this week had a lot of stuff go on. With the media asking him a lot of questions and a lot of animosity, and look, I'm not going to talk about the things he said, but overall, to get into a fight and against the top level guy, Gene Silva is probably one of the most scary guys in the division that no one wants to face. I can only say he took some punishment, he stayed standing, and he did well for periods of that time, and he stayed up, even when he was getting massively hurt for a lot of that period of time. So look, great win for Gene Silva, and scary guy for people to go against next in that division. On to the next fight, Pitbull versus Yair Rodriguez. Pitbull coming from for his first fight in the UFC. Great ability and great record outside the UFC. He's done incredibly well, but really we saw, as I always say, there is a major difference. And yes, there is stage fright from being at the biggest event and biggest stage of like a UFC event compared to other organisations, but there is a difference between a UFC fighter in the top 10, top 5 and a champion in the other divisions, because UFC has such a pull, it pulls all the great, it's like a magnet to the greatest fighters. And Yair showed this. He got all 3 rounds, I think. First round, far enough kicks. Pitbull managed to get it to ground late, but did nothing really with the fight. Yair was firing off, and that's key. You're losing rounds, you're not doing anything. You get someone down late and do nothing with it. It's just not even really scoreable, is the key. Pitbull explodes, gets a good left hook in. Pitbull slips a punch and gets the takedown on Yair. So it's really good. This second round is a lot better from Pitbull. Good straight by Yair though, keeping going. Good takedown defense later on, even though he got takedown earlier. And I do think Yair gets it because look, he did do more damage on that from the feet. Third round, Pitbull, good pressure, good left hook by Pitbull, but Yair drops Pitbull with a great punch straight after it. And so, pretty much that wins in the third round. And I give them all 3 rounds. All the actual results from judges are the same, 30-27 to Yair. Round 2, maybe either way. It's probably the closest round out of the 2 of them. But 29-28, 30-27. It's either way, it's still a big win from Yair, and Pitbull needs to get back in. Could it be jitters? Yes, but Yair is a very difficult customer, and that can be the problem as well. He's tall, them kicks are so fast, and he was so fast in that fight last night, sorry, and yeah, great fighter. On with the next fight, Pimblett versus Chandler, an incredible coming of age for Paddy Pimblett. All the questions, all the remarks from people going, look, these guys aren't great, but you're at a better level, this guy's going to beat him, but then when he doesn't, he gets these conversations that he clearly wasn't that good anyway. This isn't something you could say that about this fight. Chandler is a fighter, has done well, has been beaten by Oliveira and stuff, but did stay in there well enough in moments, and Paddy's probably had the best fight and best win against Chandler that we've seen in the UFC. That is clear. He won round 1, leg kicks early by Pimblett, good. Chandler gets a takedown, Chandler gets some big shots off, which was very good by Chandler. Pimblett jumps for a triangle choke but can't get it as per what he normally wants, and I give Chandler the first round. He got the bigger shots off, the good right shots on the ground, but after that it was all Pimblett. Good shots round 2 by Pimblett, good combo. He started throwing out this jab, keeping him at distance, jab, getting that out there. Low blow by Chandler, which really, look, it's an accident, is it or is it not? It was at the perfect time to give him a rest when he was getting real pressure and real problems from Pimblett. So I think it's very difficult to say whether it was a true accident. It was very clean of a shot towards the cup of Pimblett. It was a straight kick upwards that clearly was never getting towards the head of Pimblett unless he was much further back than he actually was. Was it the perfect time tactically as well? Yes. So I think, look, a tactical foul is the best thing you could say about it. But Pimblett comes straight back, knowing that he doesn't want to give Chandler any option to refresh himself in there, get some rest. Chandler goes for the takedown, gets a good elbow by Pimblett, so he's out doing this weird out, so Chandler was sort of on the back side of Pimblett in that position, and basically the head's on one side of his back, and Pimblett was just basically elbowing, which were doing some good damage from a Pimblett side. And then Pimblett gets on top, goes for an arm triangle, but then gets his back knocked, then gets top mount. So he's just switching positions between 2 dominant positions, which are the back, where he's looking for a choke or looking to get a few punches in, then top mount, where he's just looking to batter him. And he gets some elbows in, gets some punches in late, and it was a good dominant round by Pimblett, 10-9. So basically even after round 2, round 3, Pimblett, great knee, Pimblett a lot of shots off, Pimblett getting a takedown, and it's all Pimblett, it's all Paddy going through the motions, so basically hurts Chandler, gets the takedown, gets the back. He's just so dominant on the ground and on the feet at this point, and then Paddy gets a lot of shots off, just starts teeing off him in full mount, just smashing him. And that's it. That's all. The referee doesn't stop it. Chandler's doing nothing, not moving. He's clearly tired, and that's all for Paddy getting the win by TKO. Great win for Paddy, and on to a top top contender. If he wins the next fight, he should be looking for a title shot. Could that be Poirier, or could that be Topuria, or could that be Gaethje, or could that be Oliveira? Look, in my opinion, it's going to be Topuria, it's going to be Gaethje, it's going to be Oliveira. They're the three it could be, and I start to side between and towards a Topuria. I think he does, unless Topuria gets a title fight, which then he'll face Oliveira, and that could slow it down a bit for him to get a title shot. He may need another fight against a Topuria, or if Makhachev stays champion against a Topuria, look, does Paddy get the straight fight? I think he does. So I think it could be an Oliveira to then a Makhachev title fight if he does win, and that is key. Look, there's a step up again to them type of guys at that top level. So look, Paddy did very well. Very big guy in there at lightweight as well, so which is good long rangey jabs. He'll need it against Oliveira, against Makhachev, against even Topuria. I think he'll definitely need that size advantage, or size equaling, because I know Oliveira's big. I know a lot of these guys are bigger. Topuria is obviously smaller, so Topuria could be the best fight for him, seeing as how he dealt with Chandler. So on to the main event, Volk versus Lopez for the featherweight championship after Topuria has vacated to go to lightweight. Round one, I give to Volk. Great shots, great start, fast. Old Volk is back. That is the key. He's back. He's getting takedowns, getting punches. Good start from Volk. Round two, I give to Volk as well. Volk, great work, pressure. The jab was key. He's a smaller guy. The reach isn't that small though. Against a bigger guy like Lopez, I think it's only 1 inch reach difference. So really, your work on a jab matters more on a 1 inch reach advantage. So look, then a great right rocks Lopez, and really, don't know if it was counted as a takedown, but if the fence wasn't there, it was he did drop him. That's the key. If the fence wasn't there, it would have been he would have dropped him to the canvas. But then Lopez pressures forward late on and drops Volk. So another estimation there where they both dropped each other, but who do I think did the better work? I don't think Volk did. Volk definitely did the better work overall. Both dropping each other, but really the most amount of the work out of them 5 minutes was Volk. Round three, again another Volk round. Good right straight by Lopez, good left hook by Volk. Good shots by Volk as Lopez came in. Lopez trying to pressure it, trying to get through it. Lopez has to go for it now, which is key. He just has to swing. Round three, he's lost clearly. In the end of that round, I say, look, you just got to go for it. You've got to throw hands. You've got to get dropped, or you drop someone. That is key. You've got the power. You've already dropped him. You've got to go for it. You just got to throw hands. And he did, but he didn't as much. Lopez has to just fire, not stop. He has to pressure, and do not stop firing until you get dropped or he gets dropped at this point. Being tactical, Volk's going to win this fight. That is clear. He's back to his sort of old self, really, in this fight. So, round four starts. Lopez, good right hand after the clinch, good hook by Lopez, but yeah, Volk gets caught in the right eye then, and something sort of happens. I think, oh, that's not looking good. But it's sort of when it gets replayed, it's sort of the glove just sort of scratches across the eyelid, and I think cuts it, which ain't obviously gives the reaction instantly by Volk. Lopez just catching Volk, getting the good right hands in, and Lopez wins this round, because really Volk's just trying to back off, trying to cover up, figure out what's happening with his eye, and do that sort of thing, while Lopez is coming forward trying to hit him, and it looks sort of like that finishing sequence of a fight, but clearly didn't get finished. Volk was still throwing hands as well, so it wasn't that type of thing, but look, Lopez still won that round. Round five, Volk comes back out sort of with the intention of, look, his eyes been sorted, so good right hand by Volk, good punches in the exchange. 1-2 by Volk gets through, good left hook by Volk, good combos overall in the round. Lopez basically trying to say let's go for it in the final few seconds, but look, Volk ain't stupid, he's not just going to throw down with you. in the last few seconds when you've lost all but one round. And look, Volk gets the 5th round as well, so I give it, you know, look, the jab it was money throughout the fight for Volk. That was the key one. I gave it 49-46. I think 2 of the judges agree with me, but all 3 judges also agree with me that it's Volk who won that. And yeah, a great fight for Volk. Lopez needs to go back in. He tactically doesn't seem to be at the level of the top guys like Volk, probably superior if he ever came back into that division. He's not using his size either that well, you know. It just didn't seem to be great, you know. They may have the same reach advantage, but Volk was the one jabbing, you know. Lopez is still having an advantage there. And look, to the point where he was just getting frustrated to try. You've got to go. When I'm saying end of round 3, you just got to go for it. You got to get. You got to hook. You just got to get inside and just smash. You just got to try and smash him now. It just means you're in a fight tactically. You're inept against this opponent, which he needs to improve if he wants to be at that top level. He's not. You know, Volk's beat all these top guys that Volk's faced and had tough challenges against, sort of the Max Holloways, the Tapurias. They will beat you as well in some way, because you're looking for 3 or at least 2 rounds to just try and go for the knockout and stay on the inside and just throw, defense out the window. So, and when I'm saying that as well, and everyone probably is saying that at home as well when they're seeing the fight, that's tough. You got to come back. You got to get that jab. You got to learn the jab. You got to use the jab. You got to be fast, and you got to show Volkanovski something he's not seen before, because all these top guys are sort of that level above currently to Lopez, who I thought would do better than he did in the fight. He didn't do well on Volk was getting takedowns as well and trying stuff like that, and Lopez didn't really try and mix it up either. He just standing there and went, I'm frustrated, I just need to hook and just smash. And against a technical fighter, against Volk, he's just not going to. He's not just going to try and exchange with you constantly. He's going to look to win, because look, he's won 3 rounds by not doing that. So why would he change it up? So look, Lopez has to go back to the drawing board. Good for Volk getting back to championship status in that division. And I don't know who faces him next, to be honest. I think it's tough again, where look, Volkanovski is that top guy again, unless the Peoria came back down after a fight with a top contender or for the championship of the lightweight division. I don't think that's likely though, but really they're waiting for new up-and-comers to get in there, because I don't think we're going to see a rematch for Lopez straight away. I think that was quite dominant for Volk. Only round his loss where the glove of Lopez sort of cut his eyelid is the only point where he started losing that round. So look, I think it's key point. Lopez needs to go back to drawing board, needs at least 1, if not maybe 2 fights before he goes back for a championship fight again in that division. But yeah, has to get back to the drawing board. Volk, next fighter, next opponent, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. But Paddy Pimblett, look, he's on a trajectory of getting to that top contention, maybe even to Peoria. So that would be very good for him, and a great display. I think it really silenced some of the critics of Paddy Pimblett. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.